Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. I'm on for my second tutorial using the awesome products from Beebeecraft this time. So last time we had heaps of fun with the stickers and the rub-on transfers. That was heaps of fun and made piles of stuff. So this time I have left these self-adhesive rhinestone strips, which are beautiful. Not my usual thing to use, so I've been stressing about this one, but I do have an idea. We'll see if we can make it work. I also have left, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but these little, they're paper, sort of paper cutout frames, and there's also vellum pieces in a few different colours. They're very nice. So we will try and make something with those as well. I've also got my buckle sliders, which I did use some of last time, but I will probably use a couple of these again today, I think. See how we go. Love them, one of my new favourite things to play around with. So what I have done is printed out, I was having fights with my printer though, printed out these. They're just some of my personal stash of vintage and antique postcards. Might have to do another print though, because I'm getting some lines in there, so I'm trying to do some maintenance on my printer to fix that. This one came out the best though, so I might just use that. Now I'm going to find some corrugated cardboard, I think. I do have this gold one. Now I've got a nice pink one around here somewhere if I can find it. And I might get some plain cardboard too that I can peel the layers off of. Not sure, just as a background. What I think I might do with these is make some journal toppers to put on the front covers of some journals. I might have to grab some laces out for this one, which is something I don't use very often. So what I might do is make a massive mess in my craft room, dragging out all of my laces, find the pieces that I think I might want to use, and then come back and we'll put it all together. The link to Beebeecraft is below. The link to the individual products that I'm using today and I've used in my last tutorial video will be below as well. I'll also try to remember to link the unboxing in my previous tutorial in case you want to go back and have a look at them. There's also my coupon code, which is NAT10 if you want 10% off of any orders with Beebeecraft. So I will go and trash my craft room and then I will come back and we'll try and get some journal toppers done. So I'm starting here with the corrugated cardboard that I showed you. It's a goldish colour. I've got some curtain lace there that I'm using as a background. So just trying to layer up some different laces and that. I did reprint my postcard copies as well and found that it was actually the photo paper was a thicker photo paper and it was getting lines on it. So I tried a thinner photo paper and I could still see where the lines would be. There's a bit of an indent, I think. Must be from the printer heads, but I don't have the white lines showing now, which is great. So I'm just using my tacky glue on the corrugated cardboard there and sticking my lace down. Just using some plastic over the top to help me push it down, because if you've tried to stick lace down, you would know that the glue comes through onto your fingers and then you lift the lace up as you're trying to stick it down, which is no help. So I do find a bit of greaseproof paper or some plastic helps me press it down. So I've got some lace there that came from I think it was a lacy tank top. I do find a lot of that sort of thing in the second-hand shops cheap. I just want to cut a bit of that off to use as well. Now I'm not cutting anything straight. I'm hopeless at cutting materials straight, if I haven't told you that almost every video. Yeah, I probably wouldn't craft if I had to cut everything straight and do everything very particular, so but it doesn't really matter because we're layering things up and I want it to have a bit of a rough look. So I have some broderie anglaise there that I am cutting to put on top of my other laces. Just love all the different colours and textures that you get. So I am swapping between my tacky glue and my fabric glue to do this project. So now I can stick my photo on. I think the because the photo paper was quite thin, I did back it onto some old book page just to make it a bit more robust to stick down. Just using some paper to help me press it down there. I have that beautiful piece. It must be, I don't know if it's a collar piece or a sleeve piece, but I did get a few of them somewhere or other. Most of the laces are just secondhand curtains and bits I found in op shops. There are just a couple of newer pieces that I use as well. So I do use my tacky glue if I'm sticking things onto the photo, and then I tend to use my fabric glue if I'm sticking the bulkier fabric onto fabric. The tacky glue is great because it dries matte and you don't tend to see it very much, whereas the fabric glue does dry a bit glossy. That's another reason why I sort of swap between them. I'm definitely no expert. This is actually the first time I've tried doing sort of layered lacy journal toppers. So I was terrified at the thought of doing these, but I thought, no, it must do it. I thought that the sticky rhinestone that we got from Beebeecraft would look really nice on some covers. So, and I do like going out of my comfort zone and trying different things. And I can't tell you, I had so much fun doing these. I was really surprised at how enjoyable it was. So it's just another bit of curtain lace there. I did accidentally smudge some of my glue on there, which wasn't good, a bit messy. And I'm thinking, oh no, I've gone and ruined the whole thing now. So I'm cutting my first piece of the bling there. I'm trying a bit of each of the different rhinestone strips that I got. One for each of the 4 covers that I do today. I show you 2 of them and then at the end I show them all to you. It cuts really easy, and I was a little worried that the double-sided tape that they're on wouldn't stick to the fabrics and that, but it actually sticks really well. It's a bit more of a heavy-duty double-sided tape than what you'd get for other scrapbooking projects. So I didn't bother adding any extra glue to it for this first cover. So you can see at the top I added just some applique pieces, and then I've got some of this tatting that I found in a shop once that hadn't been finished. So I thought I'd add that, and fortunately it covered up where the glue went onto my picture. Now I wanted to use my slider buckles again, so I've cut a bit of tea-dyed seam binding, and I'm just looping that through my buckle there. Looks a little bit like a bow, so that's another way to use the buckles. Sticking some glue in the middle of that. So onto the second cover. So there I've just got some regular cardboard I had around the house, and I've just peeled off that top layer so we can see the corrugation underneath. I've stuck down some curtain lace to that, a bit of a different curtain lace there. Again, I've got some broderie on glaze. This time it's avocado dyed. I want to put some of that down, and I've got that beautiful postcard that I scanned of the cat. It's so cute. And it's great to be using some of the, I have a massive collection of antique postcards and all sorts of stuff that I haven't been using yet. It's really great to be able to find projects to use them in. And I think they look really cool. So there I've got another one of the slider buckles on a piece of scrap ribbon. I decided to stick it at the bottom of my picture there. Some of my old lace. And I realised that I'd put my ribbon, I didn't put it where I wanted it. So I did pull it back up and then re-stick it further down. I still didn't put it where I wanted it, but oh well. It's hard when you're doing this layering and that to remember where you want to put things, like what you want to put down first and how you want to layer it all. So I've got another really thin piece of pink, light pink lace there that I want to layer on top of that darker pink lace. And I think this is some newer lace that I've got. I'm going to frame the top and the bottom of my picture with those. The ribbon and the applique pieces that I end up putting on were a bit different coloured and that, but when you're getting things from here, there and everywhere, it's hard to find things that are the perfect colour, but I still really love the way this turned out. So there's this flower applique that I got, probably cut out of a doily or something, or a bigger piece of lace. And then I've got these little butterflies. I thought I'd whack one of those on as well. I did ink them a bit just to tone them down. So I thought it'd be fun to use up some of my eyelash trim. I have a fair bit of that stuff, don't use it very often. And I thought that would look pretty cool peeking out under the bottom of my next lot of rhinestone strip. So I'm sticking that down first with my fabric glue. So the rhinestone strips are very easy to cut in between the gems there. And you just pull the backing off and they're ready to stick down. I am adding a bit of my glue to the sticky tape on these just because it has to sit over the top of that eyelash trim and I want to get good contact with the fabric underneath. That's my second cover done. So next I want to use those little frame pieces that I got with the vellum pieces. So I found these white tags in my stash just hanging around and I thought that it might be fun to use those. I think they'll go nicely with the frames. So I'm doing a bit of stenciling with my distress inks. And I've got some of my dried flowers. Must dry a whole pile more flowers. I don't have many at all. Now I'm going to use some matte medium here with my palette knife to stick my flower down. I like this method of sticking on your dried flowers and that. It holds them on really nice, but you can go over the top as well and it coats them nicely and seals them. Because these are really delicate, these flowers. I'm a bit heavy-handed with it though, which is unfortunate, so I do need some practice. So I've got my little frame there, and I'm just adding a bit of vellum that I had here to the inside of it. Just thought the stenciling through that little window looked a little messy, so the vellum just mellows it down a bit, and I like the way that looked. I have some words here, word stickers. I thought that'd look really nice in the white as well on the tag. So very simple tag, but I really love the way it looks. I've got some of my seam binding there. It might be my avocado dyed seam binding, I think. Just to do a bit of a topper. So I've just stenciled that word with my Distress ink in my stencil. I think I'm using Beebeecraft stencils, those green ones. And then you can see I've masked off around the word that I want so that I don't get any parts of the other letters there. I just get the word I want. I just used masking tape for that. Then I decide I want a bit of a background pattern as well. Just looking for another bit of dried flour. I ended up disintegrating that one a bit, so I grab another piece. So again, just using my matte medium. I get so heavy-handed with it because it looks like messy when I put it on there, so I try and get some of the messy bits of the matte medium off, but I don't really have to because it does dry clear anyway, and you wouldn't really notice it, so I've got to stop fiddling with it and just slap it on. Because that makes the tag get a little bit too wet underneath and buckle a bit. Now I'm just adding one of the blue frames. I wanted to do one of every colour frame and every colour vellum, but it would have taken me all day. I was so slow in the craft room. Now I'm grabbing one of my sentences. I think it's a Tim Holtz Small Talk or something that I'm using. And I'm just putting some blue twine through as a topper and tying a knot off in it. And there's my second tag done. So I have finished my toppers and my tags and ready to show you what we've made this time around. So I used the 4 different, I call them bling strips, rhinestone self-adhesive strips, I assume you would call them. And I absolutely love them. They just add such a great wow factor to covers. So these are journal toppers, so you would have your journal cover and you would stick this on the top to decorate your book. And it's really handy to have these ready to go for future journals, and I can't wait to use them now. So they are just done on some corrugated cardboard. So this one was some gold corrugated cardboard, and all the pictures were antique postcards that I have here that I've scanned onto photo paper, glossy photo paper. And then I used various curtain laces, lace from t-shirts and bits and pieces that I've found here and there, old tatting. So that's the first one, quite a vintage style. They're all sort of vintage style, but a few differences. Now the rhinestone strips are awesome. The tape is really, really sticky, which is wonderful, easy to cut in between the rhinestones. Of course, if you cut it a bit long and got to cut a little bit off, you can keep that bit and use it in future projects and use them individually. So bits that I cut off, if I've already taken the sticky backing off, I just stick them onto some plastic packaging or some grease-proof paper and put them away so I can use them in future. So yeah, that turned out so nice. And then I did do this one. This one's got the larger square rhinestones on it and a beautiful colour. It's almost like a coppery pink colour. Absolutely beautiful. And you can see the shine in them. I'm probably blinding you there. But they're both square rhinestones in those two. So you can see the difference in size there. And then I used some broderie anglaise, curtain lace again, roughed it up a bit. I used some of this fluffy wool. Really like that sticking out there. And I cut a little bit off and I just decided to stick it there because why not? I actually really like that. So little flower that I cut out of a shirt or a tablecloth or something. A little bit more curtain lace there. So I really love that. Beautiful picture. And this one, you saw me do this one, and that's got the bling, that's got the rectangle pink bits, and then it's got your little diamante or rhinestones around the outside. Again, just beautiful. Just adds such a nice highlight. And we've got the eyelash trim that's peeking out. I thought that would soften it a bit. And I used the slider buckles as well here for a sort of little bow thing, seam binding. And then I used it on this one here on the ribbon. Just wanted to show you more ways that you can use them. And then this is the last one I did. I love this one too. It's quite pink. Very pretty. And there's the slider buckle there with a bit of lace through like a bow as well. Then I used one of the rhinestones that came off of the strip there and just put it up the top here. So you don't waste any of this. I've got this beautiful applique that I put on. And then again, lots of curtain lace. So the picture's not real clear because it was such an old postcard, but I still absolutely adore how this has turned out. I think it's beautiful. That one was on some pink corrugated card that I picked up from the op shops. You can see it's a bit wrinkly there because I had to roll it back the other way so it didn't want to keep curling up while I was creating with it. Had to do that with that one and this one as well, the gold one, because they were in big rolls. I just wanted it to sit flat while I played with them. So they're the 4 toppers that we did. That was so much fun. As I said, I was terrified doing those because I hadn't done anything like them. I'm not very good with laces, definitely not good with layering at all. And I had a pile of fun, so not so scared anymore. And it was great fun to drag out the laces and use them. Okay, and then the next thing we made was our tags. Now I'll show you first this one. Now it's not too bad, but I did use the vellum. And I love using that, and I think it looks really good, but I was very heavy-handed with my matte medium, and it got really wet because when I stuck the vellum down, I only stuck it down around the edges. So when it got wet, it sort of bubbled up, and now it's a bit crinkled and that. And yeah, I just put way too much matte medium on and fiddled around with it heaps. It has, however, stuck my fern on really nicely. So I'll probably just wait it under some books to get some of the crinkly bits out and use it in a personal journal or something, but I thought I would show you that. And so I did another one with the vellum, but decided that I wouldn't use the matte medium to put one of my dried flowers on, and I just used some die cut flowers there. Love that too. Got the stenciling in the background. Do really like those vellum pieces. Then just put some fabric in as a topper. Very simple, but a really nice little tag to slip into a journal. You can write on the back. And then together we made this one with the blue frame. There were a number of packs in the set with different coloured frames and vellum pieces, and you get the different shapes. So the blue ones were your arches, so you'd get the frames as well as your vellum pieces. So heaps and heaps to play with. So of course with the purple you'd have purple frames as well. And then I used the pink circle frame. And another one of my dried flowers, and it's on there so nicely. And you can't see the glue at all. Yeah, a bit of stenciling. And then a bit of seam binding in the top. So that is those, and I have heaps and heaps of those to play with. Look at them all. And that's just like 2 of the colours. So got all of these, and then I got more all over my desk because I made a massive mess. So the links to the products that I've used today and in my last tutorial video are all down below, as is a direct link to Beebeecraft's website. Also, don't forget to use the code NAT10 upon checkout if you'd like to get 10% off of any order. Massive thank you to Beebeecraft for the awesome products that I got to play with this time. It was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed what I have made with them, and it gives you some ideas for your own journals. So take care of yourselves, be good, and I will see you again soon. Bye.